Hello fellow Photoshoppers, Mark Ellis here once again with a great tutorial. Today we're going to learn how to add a border to an image. And this will be kind of cool. There's a couple of ways of doing it, so we're going to launch into it right now. If you remember the last video tutorial, we added some effects to the lettering here. Well, in order to get a border around the picture, you're going to have to merge these layers together, because if I go up and let's say, for example, let's take the very first layer that I have, a background layer, which is that layer there, and then I have the Area 51 lettering layer there, and I have the Visitor's Guide layer with the lettering of that on there. Depending on what layer I click, if I add a border to it, which I would do by going down here and clicking on the Layer Effects Add Layer button down here, I would click on that, and then I go down to where it says Stroke. You'll notice Visitor's Guide has already got a border around the lettering, and of course you can change the colors or whatever. Well, we don't want it to just go around that. Let's say we want it to go around the entire image. This is how we're going to do it. So let's step backward. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to make all of these images, because Area 51 lettering, these are all separate kind of images laying on top of each other, as you know from our previous tutorials on layers. So this is how you do it. You go over to your layers palette here, and what you're going to do is you're going to click on this little menu item right here, and we're going to go down and we are going to flatten the image. This means that we're going to put all the layers on one layer. So it's going to merge it all down and flatten it together. Watch this. Click on that. Now you have one layer and all of these are on there. They're all together. So you have all your layers on the background. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to put a border around this picture, but we can't do it still. If you notice, background, because there's a lock on it, you can't really activate anything. So we're going to have to go up in here. We're going to click Duplicate Layer. Background copy is what it's going to say. That's fine for now. And then you'll notice we have a new copy of this. Now, we could turn this one off now. We couldn't do that before because the lock wouldn't let us do it. It was a hard lock on here. It was black color. It wouldn't let us do anything. So if you notice, we can go to a transparent here, right? So we got two layers, background and background copy. We can actually get rid of this one if we want to. We might as well. Let's go ahead and get rid of it for now. And you'll notice when we turn this on off, we have a transparent here, okay? But the thing of it is if I go down here and I click on the Add Layer Style or the Effects button, and I click on Stroke, watch. I want to put a border around this, but you'll notice size, I've already gone down into here and it's not doing anything, okay? And that's because the edges of this is merged onto the work surface, okay? But there is a way of doing this, and this is how we're going to do it. There's two ways that are kind of easy, not really hard to do at all, and there's a more complicated way which we'll discuss in a later episode. But right now we're going to go up to Edit, and then we're going to Transform, and we're going to hit Scale. Okay, and what this is doing is it's going to allow us to scale this whole image down. Now this is a way you could kind of distort your image if you're not careful. Then you can drag the image into the center of the canvas, and then what you do is you click on Apply. You click on your little pointer tool up here, and then you click Apply, and there you have it. You have your image in the center of the canvas. Now you can go over to the Add Layer Style or Effects button, click on it, hit Stroke, and you'll notice right away there is a red border on this image. And of course you can make it as big or as little. You can change the colors like I showed you in previous episodes to whatever color you want, right? I usually use black for most things, right? Hit OK. There you go. You've got your border going around the entire picture. Pretty cool. But there's another way we can do this. So I'm using my history palette up here, and I'm just going back through the different steps we took. So every time you step backward, as you know from an earlier lesson, you're going to eliminate the step before it. We can go back and forth through the steps we just took, right? Okay, now we're going to do this a different way. There's one other way we can do this that's pretty cool. You go over to where it says Image, and you click on Canvas Size. And basically this is telling you the size of your canvas. You've got a 2.333 width by 3.12, and then you've got this little window down here. Now you're going to tell this to expand outward from the center. If I clicked on this, it would expand in that direction, but we're going to, and you can play around with this and see how it works. But basically, we want this image to expand out from the center. So I'm going over to Width, and I'm going to add an extra inch on either side of this image. So we started out, as you see up here, this always tells you where you started at. So I want to make it 3.333. Instead of 3.12, I want it to be 4.12. Okay? How's that sound? we're going to have an extra image on all sides, and there it is, and it's equally distributed all around the sides of it. Now I made this canvas quite a bit bigger. You could have made it a little bit smaller than this, but for all intents and purposes, what we want to do, go down and click the Add a Layer Style or the Effects button. Click on it, stroke once again. There's your border, and you can size your border, opacity, so forth, any way you want to. And it's just that easy. So play around with that a bit, get comfortable with it, use it quite a bit, and we'll be back here with more great video tutorials. The next lesson is going to be the last lesson on layers, so I hope you'll be there. This has been Mark Elmo Ellis with PhotoshopTrainingForum.com, where we teach you how to clearly and concisely use Adobe Photoshop. God bless, and have a great day.